Comic Boom.
Hey guys, Comic Boom here to review Wonder Woman issue 74. I'm a little bit behind on my reviews because I've been very busy, as I say, at work and just, enjoying the weather, visiting family, etc., etc. And this is actually the best Wonder Woman issue in quite a while. I was actually kind of impressed. J. Willow Wilson is this is actually the best issue so far. And we're finally getting some movement here. And what was the one thing I said when this entire series began? J. Willow Wilson, her very first issue, she had Grail, Darkseid's daughter Grail, pick up the God-Killer sword and kill Ares. And that led to an explosion, and suddenly Themyscira disappeared, and all of a sudden the gods started to come back. Ares came back. We got various gods coming back. We had the Titans come back, and we had Atlantiades come back, and Aphrodite come back. But nobody knows where Themyscira is. Where's Paradise Island? We don't really know. Well, last issue, Wonder Woman and Atlantiades, along with Maggie, they ended up in Dimension Chi, and it was revealed that Dimension Chi was actually an imaginary place that was given substance, I guess, in the imagination of Hippolyta. And basically, it is a place that Hippolyta imagined. It was an alternate place that Hippolyta essentially tested herself, because it was a place where she did not have a daughter. And this Dimension Chi is ruled over by Empress Hippolyta, which is sort of a darker version of Hippolyta. And in any event, we know from last issue that Wonder Woman, when she was a young girl, had an adventure in that alternate place. And here we have Wonder Woman with Maggie and Atlantiades essentially in Dimension Chi, and they ultimately end up confronting Empress Hippolyta and end up doing battle with her. Now, something clearly has happened with Empress Hippolyta. She's even a little bit more crazy than she was when Wonder Woman met her when she was a younger girl. And in any event, after having an altercation with Empress Hippolyta, they find themselves running into none other than Antiope. And Antiope is the Amazon that has this powerful sword, and it's Antiope's sword that actually Maggie has. It was Antiope's sword that Maggie found that ultimately they used to find Dimension Chi and ultimately find the Amazons. Now, what are the Amazons doing in Dimension Chi? Well, as Antiope explains, along with Antiope and Philippus explain, Philippus being the other Amazon, and I'm inferring all this from what was said. Apparently, when Themyscira was destroyed, it was shattered into glass, and it was shattered into many pieces and fragments, and apparently the enemies of Themyscira basically created a civil war, and they attacked the Amazons. And of course, Grail is the one leading the attack against the Amazons, and apparently Grail has conquered and is now ruling over Themyscira, and the ragtag group of rebel Amazon survivors had only one place to hide out, and that was Dimension Chi. And Antiope, along with Philippus, my understanding, basically hid out in Dimension Chi. Now, and Grail apparently has Hippolyta taken prisoner, along with many other Amazons taken prisoner. Now, where exactly is Themyscira? Not really sure yet. Clearly, Antiope knows where Themyscira is, but they're sort of regrouping in Dimension Chi. Now that they've ran into Wonder Woman and Maggie and Atlantiades, they're probably now going to regroup and try to attack Themyscira to try to defeat the forces of Grail. Now, that's basically how this ends. I like it. I think the journey was too long getting here. I really do. I think that this should have been the opening issue. This should have been maybe the second or third issue into J. Willow Wilson's run, because it was way too long getting here. Couple of things which, clearly continue to be missed. Atlantiades is still portrayed as a sane, rational person and not the insane mind rapist that she is. But, it is what it is. It's a god, and Amazons seem to look past the fault of their gods all the time. So be it. I guess everyone does. But, of course, we don't actually have gods that physically exist. But that's another story. I like the Grail's back. I love Grail. I love Grail. I think she is probably one of the most underused enemies, underused supervillains out there. I also like Darkseid. It's nice to see Darkseid in Justice League Odyssey and today in the recent issue of Justice League Odyssey, Darkseid now is, I think, stepping up to the plate a little bit. The importance of Darkseid as an Omega level threat for the DC Universe should be something that should be exemplified and focused on, and we're getting a little bit of focus on that in the pages of Justice League Odyssey, written by Dan Abnett. That's a good story. You should check it out. It's not been a great series so far, Justice League Odyssey, but Dan Abnett has turned it around from the disaster that was Williamson in the earlier issues. But I digress somewhat. Darkseid's daughter, Grail, is basically kicking butt against the Amazons and has taken over Themyscira. Her father would be proud, I'm sure. So I'm looking forward to see where this goes. I really sincerely hope that the artist in the future issues, if they're going to use the same artist, I hope they know that Grail has red eyes, fully red eyes, that they've screwed up the drawing of Grail. They should look at the template of Darkseid War in terms of how to draw Grail, in terms of what she looks like, and in terms that her eyes are fully red. But you know, little things like that, they matter, and I hope J. Willow Wilson talks to the artist, and I hope the artist does his research. This issue here had good art. Again, Marino was the artist here. Once again, they put the things on the last page. I don't know. Once again, you got to go to the fourth page. Finally, you get the thing. It says Jesus Marino does the art along with Zermanico, and Romulo Faggino Jr. does the colors. Pat Russo is the letterer. Marino and Faggino Jr. do the cover, and Jenny Frison does the variant cover. I haven't picked up. I didn't pick up the alternate cover by Jenny Frison. I'm not going to pick up. I'm not going to pick up any of the double covers or the variant covers for DC anymore, because they've increased the price on all the variant covers from $3.99 to $4.99. So I'm not going to be getting any of them. I shouldn't say I'm not getting any of them. I'll be getting some of them, but I used to get mostly all of them. Now I'm not going to get. I'm probably going to get maybe one or two a month, because I'm going to really be picky. And quite frankly, since my retailer's not ordering them all, I wouldn't have a choice I won't be getting some anyway, even if I want them. So it was a big mistake that DC did doing that, because it just means that fewer people are going to be getting those variant covers, because I already know that I actually spent less on DC Comics this month, because I didn't need to get any of the variants. So I literally went from, well, I saved myself $5. In any event, guys, tell me what you think of Wonder Woman issue 74. I actually thought this issue sort of picked up steam a little bit. It was, again, it was basically one long fight scene again. Not a lot of substance. Seems to be a problem with J. Willow Wilson, is that not a lot of substance to her stories. I mean, again, this should have been the second or third issue of her run. I would say the second issue of her run. We got to get more substance. We should have seen Grail a long time ago. We had a lot of filler issues there that went nowhere, and really don't like her handling of the gods at all, especially since she wants us to, basically, let's all revere a mind rapist who happens to be transgender or gender fluid or whatever. I still got issues with that, but whatever, it is what it is. It's at least improving, and we're going to get Grail in future issues. I'm really curious to see how J. Willow Wilson portrays Grail. I hope she captures her voice well and remembers that Grail is basically a female version of Darkseid for all intents and purposes, and she should be written accordingly. She's a badass, and she kicks ass, and she takes names. So guys, tell me what you think of Wonder Woman 74. Hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Metropolis40. And until next time, enjoy the summer, and Comic Boom out.